A Shalom Akim wa Akwath of the elect of the nation of Israel, which in these last days, you so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans, you are the true Hebrew Israelites according to the Holy Scriptures. The name of this video, this lesson, is entitled Anton Lavey is glad that you so-called Christians, primarily Christian parents, let your children worship October 31st. Every year going into All Hallows Eve, the day before actual Halloween, because study the history of Halloween actually starts. The official day is November 1st, but that's why the day before is called the day before Halloween, which is October 31 during sunset. So, before I go any further, give all praises power of the nation of Israel, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Raka'ah Quadash, Yahweh, that's the true name of the King of Terrors, the Almighty, which means he exists, he to be, Bahasham, in the name of Yahweh Shai, who the world through ignorance calls Jesus Christ. Yahweh Shai in the ancient Hebrew means he saves, he delivers, or he is victory, because through Yahweh Shai, the elect of the nation of Israel in these last days will receive the victory over the devil, which the devil in these last days today is known as Esau Edom, the so-called white men, starting with their chief tribe, Amalek. Double honor to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, which are the men that taught me the 100% truth according to the Holy Scriptures. What you see here is northern and southern kingdom in their full glory when they receive those new celestial bodies. Again, Anton Lavey, the founder of the Church of Shaitan, he is glad that you so-called Christians let your children worship October 31st. Now, who is Anton Lavey? Anton Lavey, if that's how you pronounce his name. It says Anton Zandor Lavey was an American author, which he already passed away, but again, this is a quote, just for the sakes of edification for the left side high holy day of the so-called white man Esau Edom. It says he was an American author, a musician, and a Satanist. Right? He worshipped Shaitan. Shaitan, that's the left side. Of Yahweh Shemel Shai. This man, this Edomite, most likely, he had worshipped the serpent, and that's a spirit, because right on his 1992 publicity photo, he has a snake, which goes back to what? That old serpent. Matter of fact, let's get a precept. Old serpent. This is the book of Revelation 12:9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, and he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Yeah, the point here is that old serpent, the old serpent called the devil, Shaitan, which deceiveth the whole world. Yeah, and that old serpent was the same spirit, the same serpent in Genesis, the 3rd chapter, the same serpent that beguiled Eve, beguiled the woman. And now in these last days, that serpent has turned into a great dragon, with many heads and many horns. And how does this devil deceive the whole world? Again, through okay, pagan holidays, okay, and one of those pagan holidays is Halloween. And here I have an example of what Halloween teaches so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. It teaches you that it's okay to do evil things, even if it's at church. Witchcraft and idolatry can be fun, and that's spiritual, man. Because a lot of, primarily the women who grow up in the culture of Halloween, a lot of those Eves, a lot of those women of our people, they grow up to be witches. Okay, witches and psychic readers. Okay, zodiac sign. Okay, teachers. Okay, teachers of wickedness. They teach you how to be a hoe. Okay, how to be a harlot. Oh, because they grew up in the culture. Okay, of Shaitan. It says popular culture is superior to God's laws. Yeah, and that's what Halloween teaches you. It teaches that if another Christian does it, it must be okay, and it's not okay. Okay, because the true Christians will not celebrate this wicked high holy day on the left hand side. Matter of fact, a true Christian, which a Christian means anointed. Okay, anointed with what? With this truth. Ephesians 5:11, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness. So a true Christian will have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness. And Halloween, it's a very dark holiday, but rather reprove them or expose them. Yeah, so a true Christian, a true follower of the Messiah, Hamashiach, will expose the dark, the dark customs of Halloween. See? So let's go into a quick precept here. Jeremiah 5:10-2. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen. You see that? Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. You see, the point here is that Yahweh Shemel Shai said to learn not the way of the heathen, and the way of the heathen goes back to the roots of the Celtics. It says the Celts, or a lot of brothers, call them the Celts, but it's the Celts, invented rituals to protect themselves during this turbulent time. They put on customs and disguises to fool the spirits. But hey, that's they have a word which is a backfire, that actually backfired on them. Let's see, backfired. It says rebound adversely on the originator, have the opposite effect to what was intended. Yeah, and you see, so these a lot of these Celtics, which the Celtics originate from Ireland. One of the reasons why they dressed as a so-called scary, Halloween costume was to scare off the evil spirits, but that actually backfire on them. And you see that now, because those spirits are now in, the people of the modern day Babylonians, dressed as Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, witches and warlocks. You see, it says they put on customs and disguise to fool the spirits. They lit bonfires and stuck candles inside of carved turnips. Yeah, because the original pumpkin, when brothers study the history of Halloween, the original pumpkins or decorations are actual turnips. And when you type in turnips and then you put in type in Halloween, these are the original pumpkins. And that's spiritual, because back then they were scarier than they are now. They look more terrifying because back in Ireland they didn't have pumpkins in those times. You go into history, okay, the people of Ireland, starting with the Celtics, they didn't have, okay, pumpkin, so they used the what, the turnips. See that? And they have a scarier look. But going back here, it says they lit bonfires. Yeah, and a bonfire was also a symbolism to the color orange. When you study the history of Halloween, and orange is a color, okay, used for the fall season, and the fall season starts from September 21st to December 20th. December 21st, which is a season, okay, where everything starts falling, everything's dying out, everything's coming down, okay, at a very low level. That's where you have a lot of flu at all time high. Everybody's getting sick. And again, the color orange, when you study the electromagnetic spectrum, orange is actually one of the coldest colors. Okay, when you study, matter of fact, let me give brothers examples. The electromagnetic spectrum, it actually starts with red, and then what's the next one? Orange. You see, red, orange, and yellow. These are weaker colors. For example, brothers hear about ultraviolet lights. Okay, what color is violet? Around like a purplish color. You see, that's the hottest and the rarest colors of all. Okay, purple, which purple, again, that's a royalty color. But when it goes into the orange color, that's a very a cold, a very low vibrational color when it comes down, okay, to psychology. Okay, psychology of colors. And that's why the bonfires, which is the color of orange red, was also a symbolism of Halloween. When you do your research, it says, and stuck candles inside carved turnips, the first jack-o'-lanterns to scare away any spirits looking for mischief. And that's just the basic examples of Halloween. It goes back to various rituals of the heathens to protect themselves against spirits, but that actually backfire on them. And now those spirits are now roaming around the earth. But it's not just in Halloween, it's actually year round. But Halloween, the season of Halloween, which is actually a 3-day event, okay, from October 31st to November 2nd, okay, that's when more spirits are actually in the terrestrial plane. It says more origins from the History Channel. It says the tradition originated with the ancient Celtic festival Samhain, which I know that's not how you pronounce it. There's a different pronunciation on it, but for the sakes of the basics of this lesson, not going too in depth. Okay, let's pronounce it Samhain. When people would light bonfires and work customs to ward off the ghosts. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory III designated November 1 as a time to honor All Saints. Soon, All Saints Day incorporated some of the traditions of Samhain. You see, so all these holidays, man, they're incorporated. They're all bunched in. They're all mixed in together. Matter of fact, get the book of Leviticus 18 and 23. It says, neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith. Yeah, and that beast spiritually, okay, that's Esau Edom, the so-called white man. So if you spiritually sleeping with this beast right here, with Esau Edom, this bestial man, it says what? You're defiling yourself. You see, you're defiling yourself by sleeping with this woman, this spiritual woman, this spiritual beast. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast. You see, and that woman started with Eve. Okay, you had our forefather Adam, but you had Eve that got beguiled by that beast. Now that woman and that beast, that's spiritual, because there is a cartoon, an anime, which goes by the name of the Beauty and the Beast. The beauty being Eve, and the beast being Esau Edom. Matter of fact, let's prove that real quick in the book of Revelation. It says, Revelation, let me get the Blue Letter Bible real quick. Revelation 13 and 15. Okay, because that beast, it's not a literal beast, though it's symbolism to like unto a beast, just like you had the Babylonians, you had the Medo-Persian Empire, you had the Assyrian Empire. They had or even the Grecian Empire. The Grecian Empire, they had a symbolism of a leopard, okay, which that leopard was symbolic to Alexander the Great. It wasn't an actual a beast, which meant used as an examples, okay, of spirituality and symbolism. Job 12 and 7. But ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee. Now that beast, okay, that's teaching us who he is. For example, Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power, that's man. He had power to give life unto the image of the beast. When you go into that word image of the beast, that word beast is therion.
Strong's G 2342. Therion.
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 It says a dangerous animal, venomous, wild beast. An animal, a metaphor to a brutal and bestial man. You see that? A brutal, bestial man, savage, ferocious. You see? So this beast that gave life to the image, it's a metaphor to a bestial man, and that bestial man started with the Roman Empire. And after the Roman Empire fell for about 1,000 years, there was a revival, okay, in the late 1300s, okay, early 1400s. The revival of the Roman Empire came into power as NATO and the EU. Okay, NATO and EU, which NATO and the EU, those are powers or smaller nations that are part of Babylon the Great, that give power to that, okay, to that great whore, the great whore that rideth upon. Matter of fact, let me get that. That rideth. This is the book of Revelation 17. And 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast. There you go again, the word beast. That woman and that beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Yeah, and those 7 heads, 10 horns. When you go into prophecy, the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, okay, that goes into the 7 powers, okay, ruled by the so-called white man, by Esau Edom, the 7 governments. And when you study secular history or okay, ancient history before 1776, before the so-called beginning stages of modern day Roman, okay, power. You had Germania Major, you had the Romans, you had the French, you had the Spaniards, Germania Minor, and you had the British. And that's the spirit because when you study about the British, give me a second. When you study about the British, it says right here, it says Halloween's origins date back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, pronounced Samhain. I believe that's the true pronunciation, Samhain. The Celts who lived 2,000 years ago, mostly in the area that is now Ireland, the United Kingdom, and northern France, celebrated their new year on November 1. It says history and traditions of Halloween in Britain. Because remember, before Babylon started practicing these high holidays on the left hand side, always remember that it all goes back, okay, to the beast, okay, to NATO and the EU. It all starts in Europe, okay. Everything that starts, okay, like you had pagan holidays, you had like Christmas, you have Valentine's Day, Easter, all these holidays that America celebrates. They all start, okay, in Europe, and Europe gets their customs, they get their beliefs from the Far East, which the Far East, that's where you have the ancient kingdoms of the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Egyptians. Okay, it all goes back to who? Nimrod. Okay, it all goes back to those Babylonians, those ancient Babylonians, which even before that, even before ancient Babylon, you actually had who? The Canaanites. The Canaanites who were before the nation of Israel in our holy land. And that's one of the reasons why the Lord, okay, gave the nation of Israel the laws, statutes, and commandments. And one of those laws, when you go into the Torah, okay, was the laws of warfare. And the laws of warfare say that before you take over a land, over a nation, okay, one of those reasons why you're taking over that nation is because they are celebrating, okay, wicked holidays. They're celebrating, okay, idols. Matter of fact, let's go into the Torah real quick. Okay, destroy altars. Let's see if I can find it. This is Deuteronomy 12:1. It says, "These are the statutes and judgments which ye shall observe to do in the land, which Yahweh your power of thy fathers giveth thee to possess it all the days that ye live upon the earth." Now we understand that we're not sovereign, and when you're sovereign, that means you have power. You have your own laws, your own statutes, your own judgments. But since we're not sovereign, we're not supposed to go up to Esau's kingdom and destroy his pillars, okay, burn down his wicked idols. No, we're doing that through the word. Okay, the word of Yahweh Shemel Shai is enough to throw down, okay, Esau's high holy days. But now that's going to happen in a physical sense when Yahweh Shai comes back. Okay, but for the sakes of prophecy and for the sakes of edification, I'm just giving you, brothers and sisters, what happened during the times when we were sovereign, when we had our power. Okay, we were able to, okay, take down and subdue kingdoms who were following pagan traditions. It says in the law, "You shall utterly destroy all the places wherein the nations which ye shall possess serve their gods, upon the high mountains and upon the hills and under every green tree. And ye shall overthrow their altars and break their pillars and burn their groves with fire, and ye shall hew down the graven images of their gods, and to destroy the names of them out of the place. You see, and to destroy the names of them out of that place. And one of those names of the gods of Esau Edom is actually Halloween. Okay, Halloween is an example of a god, which when you go into that word God, it means power, and a power also goes into an image, an icon, an idol. You go into that word idol, it goes into an actual deity, and that deity is a way of life. Okay, a lifestyle, a wicked lifestyle of the heathen. You see that? So Deuteronomy 12:3, and destroy the names of them out of that place. Ye should not do so unto the Lord your power. It says, yeah, and that's the point. You see that? So one of the laws in the Torah for Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, for the true Hebrew Israelites, is to burn down the altars of the heathen. But that happened when we were sovereign. But now, since we're not sovereign, we're destroying them spiritually. Okay. Let me get a quick precept. Okay, spirit of heal them by the prophets. I think that's in Hosea. It says Hosea 6:5. Therefore have I healed them by the prophets, and I have slain them by the words of my mouth, and thy judgments are as light that goeth forth. You see, so Yahweh Shem Shai uses his prophets, okay, to slay these wicked holidays, man. Matter of fact, let me go to Hosea 6:5 and the NOT. It says, I sent my prophets to cut you to pieces, to slaughter you with my words, with judgments as inescapable as light. You see that? The Lord uses his prophets to cut down the heathens' philosophies into pieces, and to slaughter them with the words of Yahweh Shem Shai. And that's what us brothers, okay, in these last days in the front lines are doing, okay, to cast out these evil spirits. Okay, you don't need an actual Halloween costume. You don't need to dress out, to dress like Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, like a so-called demon, to cast out other demons. No, all you gotta do, man, is just teach the words of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. That's how you ward off the evil spirits, man. Prayer, fasting, reading, going to the highways and hedges. That's how you take down, okay, these devils, man. But again, Anton Lavey, he's glad that you Christians celebrate, okay, or let your children celebrate worship October 31st, okay, once out of the whole year. But that's not just once, but a year round. A lot of you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans who call yourselves Christians, man, you're still celebrating. There's a wicked high holy day, man. Okay, which goes back, okay, to Satan. It goes back to the left side. It goes back to paganism. It goes back to learning the way of the heathen. It goes back to rebellion. Okay, witchcraft. Let me get a quick precept. 1 Samuel 15:23. For rebellion, you see, so celebrating Halloween, that's an example of rebellion. But it's also as a sin as witchcraft. Okay, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Let's go into the word stubbornness.
Stubbornness.
Okay, it says mullished. It says dogged determination not to change one's attitude or position or on something. See, a lot of you Israelites, A lot of you so-called Christians, you have a very bad attitude. You don't want to change your ways, like it tells you in the scriptures. You want to stay in that same spirit of okay, of the devil, Jeremiah 26:13. Therefore now amend your ways and your doings, and obey the voice of Yahweh your power, which are the prophets, and Yahweh will repent him of the evil that he hath pronounced against you. See, so the only way to get out of the spirit of Esau, okay, you gotta amend your ways. You gotta, okay, go astray. Okay, go astray. Um, you know, pre-Halloween lesson, man, going into Anton Lavey. You know, he's glad that you Christians still celebrate Halloween, man, and that's okay. That's a shame unto you, Israelites. Okay, you're not supposed to celebrate the pagan holidays of the so-called white man. And with that, giving all praises to Yahweh, Shema Shai, Shemar Kakwata, Shalom.